Alright, what is going on, everybody? This is Trudger MC here, and I finally have all four of the figures for the McFarlane Toys Batman and Robin Build-A-Figure wave, which means that I now have this cool guy right here. He's a very chilling character, and if you've seen the movie, you know why I'm saying that. But yeah, we have Mr. Freeze here from Batman and Robin, and you know, when I heard that McFarlane Toys was going to be making a Batman and Robin, like, Build-A-Figure wave, I was like, really? Really? But, you know what? I'm going to be honest here. I think this wave is phenomenal. Like, all four of these figures that you need to get in order to build this guy, they're all incredible. This review is for Mr. Freeze, but if this video does really well, I will maybe do some reviews for all four of these. Especially this Poison Ivy one, like, first time DC Multiverse Poison Ivy, like, come on, man, it's very good. But this Batman, if you've seen my video of top 5 underrated McFarlane figures, you'll know that this guy's on the list, and there's a pretty good reason for it. This figure's amazing. And then Robin and Batgirl, both incredible. Say what you will about the movie back here, but yeah, you can't deny that these figures are incredible. So for Mr. Freeze here, he has a very good likeness to the Terminator. He looks very good. He was really easy to put together. I don't know how some other people have had, you know, difficulty with putting this guy together, but I didn't have any trouble at all. Just all the pieces popped into place. And nothing's really falling out. Like these shoulder things, they're staying in place. You know, the head's staying in place, the legs, the arms. Really the only trouble is getting this gun in his hands. That's kind of annoying, but yeah, other than that, it's really good. So I will say that he looks really good. There is so much detail as you would expect with these McFarlane figures. Like, you know, there's detail of, like, you know, the ridges in the suit, or, you know, whatever those are. Those aren't ridges, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it looks really cool. Okay, that time that pun wasn't intended, but you get the idea. They're like, this guy looks so good. And I'm not into painting action figures and that kind of thing, because I feel like I do a really bad job with it. But if you are into painting action figures and you do a really good job with it, then this guy could definitely look incredible with some paint. And yeah, it would make some of the details pop. I will say that these blue things here that are all throughout his suit, I know that some people don't like that that they're not, like, translucent or whatever. I think it's okay. Because he has some translucent stuff with this helmet, and I think that looks fine. But really, I don't mind all that much that, like, this stuff isn't translucent. It's fine. It's whatever, man. But yeah, so for accessories, the only thing he actually comes with is this gun. Which, getting an accessory for a Build-A-Figure itself is really cool. Again, that pun wasn't intended. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, like, it's really cool that he comes with one. And yeah, so he has this gun. They actually let him get this, and that's cool. And it comes with this detachable thing that'll make it look like the ice is shooting out, or you can have it not shooting out. But also, I would say that this also kind of counts as an accessory, is that Robin here comes with this thing. And I have it over his head and chest and a little bit of his arm. And then he also comes with this thing down here, which I have it over his leg. So he can be a little bit frozen. And then Batman, he comes with these, like, 2 ice things that can go over his hands. And so what you have there is, even though they are technically like an accessory for Batman and an accessory for Robin, I say that they still kind of count for Mr. Freeze. You know, you could have it where he's blasting away at them. Batgirl and Poison Ivy don't come with anything, but still, these are, I'd say they kind of count as accessories for him, even though they aren't accessories that he's using. He's using, you know, his ice on somebody else. I will say that the ice does look kind of weird, you know, this thing attached to the gun, where it's, like, clear, whoops, how it's, like, clear, at the start here, and then, as it goes on, it kind of gets, like, solid. I don't know why it's exactly like that, but you know what? It's all good. Because I think it looks really cool. And here's the thing, man. Like, at the end of the day, these are action figures, and if they don't look 100% realistic, that's okay. I mean, whatever. But yeah, so for accessories, like I said, he actually comes with accessories, being a Build-A-Figure, that's awesome. And then for articulation, it's pretty much just standard stuff that what you would know with a McFarlane figure. So the head can move pretty easily here. You got some action figure ASMR there. But yeah, so head can move pretty much all the way around, whatever you would need to do. These things technically move, even though for all intents and purposes they don't need to move, but they do. Just because of the way they plug in. The gun, I'm going to take the gun out of his hands so that you can see what his arms can do. So his arms can move out this way, like that. He can assert his dominance over his enemies. But yeah, and then they can kind of move like that, because they do have this ball socket type thing. I don't know exactly what this is, but a lot of McFarlane figures have that. So it allows the arms to go like that, and then these things do move up, so the arms, it's not like they'll get in the way of the arm articulation. Yeah, so they don't rotate up here. And there's a single joint here. It's not double like it is for a lot of figures, but it is single joint. But that does mean that, you can't really turn it, but it's okay. And then for the hands here, they do move a little bit. Not a whole lot, but they do kind of rotate and turn a little bit, so that's cool. You can see how he was holding the gun earlier. I'm not going to put it back on for now, because that's kind of a pain. But yeah, so, and it's the same thing on this side too. And then for the torso, you can move it, all together. It can go back that far with both this joint and this joint. And then going forward, it can go about that much. So that's not a lot, but I would say it's fine, because here's the thing, man. Like, this is Mr. Freeze. This is a guy known for being a guy in a really bulky suit. And it's Arnold Schwarzenegger playing him, so it's a big guy, by itself. Putting him in a big bulky suit, it's just going to make him even bigger and bulkier. So it's okay that he can't move around that much, because I feel like the design, wouldn't really allow for him to do the splits and that kind of thing. And speaking of that, his legs can go out about that far without stressing this too much. And then they can go forward like that much. That's pretty good. Then they can go back like, not that much, but that's okay. Again, kind of the design of the character. But yeah, so it's a single jointed knee. Again, with a lot of McFarlane figures, it's a double jointed knee, but it's a single joint knee for this guy, and that's okay. It can kind of rotate. You can have it go this way, I guess, and then you can have it go that way. So there is that. So if you want to have it be that he's like, kind of stepping out like that, you could, which is kind of cool. And then, yeah, so for the ankles, I will be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of these ankles, but that's okay. So for these ankles here, they are really heavily ratcheted. That's kind of a thing. It's kind of a running theme with the McFarlane figures. I can't really get that one to work. Yeah, so the ankles, they're pretty rigid, and I didn't heat this guy up. For one thing, I was worried that this guy would die if you heated him up, because he's all about the cold. But also, I didn't really heat this guy up because I wanted, kind of to show that it's like, if you don't heat it up, then these aren't really going to move all that much. But they can. I know that they can. I've been able to get them to move, but not right now for some reason. But anyway, and then for the ankles, or not the ankles. These are the ankles now. No, they're not. They're the toes. Yeah, the toes, it's kind of the standard toe hinge. Doesn't really look the best. It goes really far forward. But it doesn't look the best because the sole of the boot kind of cuts off, but it works. So if you want to have toe articulation, it is there. If you don't like toe articulation, then just pretend that you don't have it, or like freeze these in place. I think he would approve of that. But yeah, so all in all, I would say that this figure is definitely worth it. Now, if you do want this guy and all the other ones, which I do recommend that you get all four of these guys, because holy, my goodness, like, these figures are very, very good. It is very good. Like, I'd say the value is definitely there. For $100, you're getting, these 5 figures, and I'm gonna be honest, man, like, even if you're not a fan of this movie, like, here's the thing, like, I'm not a fan of this movie, Batman and Robin, but these figures are so incredible that it was actually this wave that made me rewatch Batman and Robin, and when I watched it, I was like, this movie isn't as bad as I remembered it being. It's okay, you know. It's one of those, you know, like cult classic type things. So, you know, you can find some, you know, good stuff about it. But yeah, like I would definitely recommend picking up this wave. And here's the thing, I know that like what McFarlane Toys is kind of doing as of right now, not the best, I'm gonna be honest, but I feel like what they did here with this is a fairly recent thing. I think what they did with this, where if they make more stuff like this, where they like take a movie and they make a Build-A-Figure wave off of it, especially if it's something that would be friendly to making toys, like, you know, the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, those obviously cater to having toys made off of them, because it's very bright, colorful, all that kind of stuff. So if they did that for some other stuff going forward, that would be awesome, and I would definitely say that. So for this guy, if you don't want all four of these, you just want Mr. Freeze, and, you know, maybe if you can find his gun and, you know, this thing, and then, like, the ice accessories. If you can find that online, I'd say definitely pick this guy up. I'd say he's definitely worth it. It would be awesome, you know, to have this guy in your collection. I don't think you would be too disappointed. But I would, if you can, I would recommend that you get all four of these, so that you can have the entire wave, you know, with Mr. Freeze there. And yeah, so there is that. I would say that, you know, again, if this video does really well, then I will maybe do reviews of the other four figures here. Maybe even talk about this movie at some point. But yeah, so if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like, do all the other YouTube stuff, and yeah, I will see you all later. Goodbye.